Hello and welcome to my first Canada Women's National Team preview. I'm Tristan Folks, and today we are going to preview what's to come for this FIFA International window for April. First off, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone for your support when I started releasing the men's national team videos and go on the matches. Really enjoy it. And then Ray Richa, appreciate you too. You rock. And then also, I'm recording this while sick, so bear with me. And then I did not play soccer on Sunday since my car ran into some issues since I came back from LA, so that'll explain that. Anyways, we can get right into everything. Canada will be playing in a two-leg friendly, hosting Argentina and British Columbia. The first match will be on April 4th at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, which will take place in Vancouver at BC Place. And then on April 8th will be the second match at Starlight Stadium in Victoria, and that will be a 10 p.m. Eastern start time. The last match against Argentina was a 2-0 victory in 2022 in Spain, which I recall that match a lot because this is a match that really angered me. It was very reckless from Argentina, and they only saw one red card, which they probably should have saw more than just one red card. And also, we're going to get into Argentina a little here. They also qualified for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, and they got knocked out of the group stage like Canada did. Canada also comes into this window as the Pinatar Cup champions. So while they get ready for these matches, the Canada under-17 for women's are currently playing in the CONCACAF under-17 Women's Championship, which they just defeated Nicaragua 5-0. And then the player I wanted to highlight is Kaylee Hunter, who is just 17 years old and recently signed for AFC Toronto. She ended up scoring one of the goals, and don't be surprised if we see her with the senior team pretty soon. I don't know how soon, but maybe within 2 to 3 years for sure. To highlight the roster, this would be quite normal, but injuries have caused this to not be so normal. So we're going to go over the players that we didn't see last time during the last window, beginning with that first-time call-up of Kayla Briggs. UF alumni Dean Rose returns from an injury. We also see the big return of Quinn, who also comes back from a long-term injury. Bianca St. George's returns from an injury, who was originally caught up in the last window. And then we also see another first-time call-up of Holly Ward. Players that are listed as injured, and this is quite a list, so hold your breath, Tristan. Those players will be Sydney Awujo, who just came back into the Manchester United lineup since the roster announcement. Kadesa Buchanan remains injured. Sydney Collins has been injured since all the way back in the summer before the Olympics. Jordan Heidema will end up missing out this window. Chloe Lacasse is still recovering from her torn ACL. Clarissa Laracy is another forward out of the lineup, and it just keeps on stacking as Olivia Smith ended up suffering a knock with Liverpool, and she was in the roster announcement originally. And then Evelyn Vines is also another player that gets injured who is at the forward position. So that's a lot. A much shorter list, players who didn't see a call-up who were involved last time out are Samantha Chang, and then we also have Megan Reed, who I know is just recovering from an illness after the announcement came out. So I hope all is well with her. Audie is on the roster as a training camp player, so I excluded her from this list, and I put her as, I believe, number 24 for the roster, in case she does get used. Also, like in the last video when we did a preview, we're going to introduce a couple of new faces to the national team here. The first one will be Kayla Briggs, who is from Toronto, Ontario. Briggs is listed as a midfielder who was last with the U20s, playing 11 matches and scoring 2 goals. Currently, she just went into the transfer portal for the NCAA, and she is going to Michigan State University for soccer, departing from Providence College. In her sophomore year, she ended up playing in 12 matches, and she ended up scoring 3 goals and collected 2 assists at the age of 19. The other new face will be Holly Ward, who is from Vancouver, British Columbia. So this is pretty much just like a homecoming for her. She just ended up signing her first professional contract for the NSL's Vancouver Rise meaning she'll be the first ever to represent the senior national team for the first time since the existence of the NSL as a first-time call-up, if she ends up making her debut, which I believe she has the tools and all that to make that happen, especially with all the injuries. So I expect to see her. We'll see when, though. Most recently, she just finished up her senior year at the University of Texas, winning the SEC title, and she played 24 matches, scoring 9 goals and 8 assists, as well as making it onto the SEC All-Tournament team. If she hasn't graduated yet, it should be coming up shortly, so happy graduation either way. And then also, she also represented the under-20s most recently. She ended up playing 9 matches, scoring 4 goals, and collecting an assist. So Holly Ward is definitely going to be a forward to look out for, and we'll see what her development looks like in the NSL. Next up, we're going to get into this formation, and what I think we will see is probably won't be too accurate, as I haven't got too familiar with Casey Stone yet, as when they last played, I was away on my little NASCAR tour in Florida and Georgia. But based on all the injuries, we're going to keep it simple here. We're going to stick with a 4-4-2, and this is going to be the best lineup available too. I expect to see about everybody play, so this is just based off best available. If I had to maximize on what I would do if it came down to the really nitty-gritty, you have to win the game. Starting off at the goalkeeper position, we will have Kaylin Sheridan, and then we're going to have a left back. I'm going to select Gabby Carl here, who has been continuing to develop as she plays at Washington Spirit. The 2 center backs of choice, we're going to do the veterans, Selena Sidorsky, and then out on the right, we're going to have Vanessa Giles, one of the best center backs in women's football, I would say. And then the right back here, we'll do Jade Riviere, who looks like has been a player that Stone likes to use more. And then we're going to get right to the midfield here. We're going to go to the left wing back. I expect to see Marie Yasmin Aladu. With the 2 center midfielders, we're going to have Julia Grosso, and then the other one's going to be Jessie Fleming, the captain. And then out at the right wing back position, I'm going to choose Ashley Lawrence this time around to help get some running down the flanks, which Aladu can do as well. And due to the lack of forward depth, which we're going to get into the 2 forwards now, I have Adrienne Leon on the left, and then I'm going to choose the veteran Yanni Sonas on the right here, give her some confidence, and hopefully she ends up scoring a goal in this window. So we'll see. We're going to get into the substitutes here. These substitutes are also what I feel are the best ones that will work out. So we'll start with the first one. The first substitute of choice, we're going to do Nichelle Prince taking off Sonas. And you can say Jenny has not been the same since she tore her ACL. And I feel, like I said, starting her is a confidence booster. And I also feel Nichelle Prince also has similar numbers, which is true, and can provide so much off the bench as a potential super substitute based on these circumstances. The second substitution of choice, I'm doing Quinn replacing Julia Grosso. I'm not too sure how healthy Quinn is, but I'm not going to be concerned as all NSL clubs have been training for well over a month now. I'd love to see Quinn return to the midfield and show their amazing self, and that's why I chose taking out Julia Grosso. My third substitute here is a more interesting one, and I picked Emma Regan replacing Selena Sidorsky. She hasn't seen a lot of center back for the national team. I don't know what her role is truly going to be at the club level either just yet, but this time around, I see her in the back line as a center back and see how she does under Casey Stone. So we'll see how that one goes if we see it. At the fourth substitute, we're going to do Jade Rose over Jade Riviere. It really appears Jade Rose has fallen out of favor, but I believe she still has a lot of potential as she is very young, and she has done a lot at the right back position for Canada, and it's suited her well, so I feel she needs to have her opportunity for sure. The final substitute at number 5, give me one moment please. Okay, let's continue here. At substitute number 5, we're going to have Dean Rose for Adrienne Leon. Dean Rose has had some bumps down the road for sure lately, But she's in a great position right now to get some playing time due to injuries, and I see the two University of Florida alumni ended up swapping out here. I hope that explains the hat. Do I get bonus points for this? Yes? Maybe? No? For my predictions here, I'm going to be a little nice here maybe. Maybe I won't be. But in this first match, I see a 2-0 win coming with goals coming from Aladu and Grosso in Vancouver. And after they take the ferry to Victoria, I can see another 2-0 win with goals coming from Sonas and Quinn that will end up boosting their confidence going into the year. Argentina has improved since Canada's last played them, I say. But if they're going to remain reckless like last time, it's probably going to be worse than a 4-0 aggregate win. Other than that, that'll conclude this preview video. If you're going to these matches, I hope you have an amazing time. And once again, I just wanted to thank everyone for your support for these videos lately. So I'm going to continue making more of these for y'all since it seems a lot of you really like these. And I hope to hear from all of you soon. Take care.